Welcome to session 4, Defining Competitive Superiority. Last week, in the session 3, we talked of sales execution style, push or pull. This is a series of program to create effective and efficient sales systems and teams that win. This is being brought to you by METL Global Perspectives, www.metl.in. Competition. In the marketplace, competition is a reality. Even the world's best institute has to compete to get the best possible students. Anything that can take away the possibility of a sale of your product is a competitor. Assume a person gets bonus. Now the person can go on vacation, pay off the car loan, buy jewelry, buy electronic gadgets, or maybe invest the money. All of these are competing for the share of the wallet, the same bonus amount that has come in excess. So understand that competition has to be seen as this comprehensive piece, not just what's happening in your store or for your product. Specific competition. Even for an essential like clothing, there are several types, several brands. Some are tailored while some are ready-made. The clothing is available in different fabrics, different colors, and differing price points. With all these choices available, a customer is literally spoiled for options. This is specific competition between offerings in the same category, ready-made, branded, jeanswear, in the price range of rupees 4,000. Now, if you are catering to that particular price range and to that particular segment, then this becomes a very specific competition to you. And how do you position your brand versus other brands that can be there? The other competition is the generic one. This is when the customer can buy products across different categories, and the competition is on the share of the wallet, first towards your category and then towards your product. This is possible in case your product is a viable substitute or an add-on. An add-on is when the salesperson sells a wine cellar along with the refrigerator that the customer wanted to purchase. So in case I am a salesperson who's selling wine cellars, while the customer is going around purchasing the refrigerator, I try to understand whether the customer likes to have wine, does he keep wine at house, and then try to pitch wine cellar as an option because wine, it's not good to refrigerate the wine. So that is the way you find out and you pitch. That is an add-on. It's something that the customer never wanted, but the salesperson identified and sold it then and there. A substitution is when the salesperson sells a PMS plan and a term insurance to a customer who wants to open a high-value fixed deposit and a whole life insurance with money back. So in this case, all of these are financial products, but when the customer wanted something which is a little more secure, the salesperson then tended to offer a much better solution to the customer and a much better value for money, but by offering products which are of totally different categories altogether. So this is where substitution works, though both of all these offerings are financial product offerings, and in the first case, it was an add-on that we talked of. So generic competition has to be understood well. If you understand your offering well, if you understand your customer requirements well, you can pitch in as a salesperson. For that, you need to showcase your knowledge, you need to showcase your understanding of the customer situation, and then you need to pitch the product accordingly. Competitive superiority in sales. A salesperson is entrusted to showcase the competitive superiority to the customer. The company would have identified the competitive advantage as a part of strategy. They might have communicated it over advertisements. Competitive superiority in strategy and marketing level is about applying the framework like Michael Porter's 5 forces, the SWOT analysis, or the VRIO framework. There might be many more. However, when it comes to sales, it is all about how will your product help the customer or the prospect deliver the job faster, better, cheaper, and how will it make the life easier of that particular customer or prospect. Now, during the sales process, the customer looks for this. So, sales competitive superiority in sales is very different from competitive superiority in strategy and marketing levels. There are three steps to establish competitive superiority in sales with the customer. This is a sequence and it has to be played out exactly like that. First step is customer specific. Always start with what the customer is looking for with genuineness. Watch the customer, ask intriguing question and demonstrate understanding. Second is product specific. Next, suggest a few product options that might work and induce trial. Let the customer choose. Connect your suggestions with what the customer is looking for in the first place when you had the interaction. Better than others. Discuss why the choice of the customer is better than that of other competitive choices. Demonstrate if possible. At this stage, use product knowledge to educate the customer and connect with them. So, this has to be a very subtle and a very free flowing conversation. The salesperson has to watch what the customer is trying to see and do with it. Then the salesperson has to pitch and has to subtly showcase product knowledge and identify why that particular offering that the salesperson is representing is better than others. For instance, if someone is buying an oven, the salesperson says that, yeah, well, every oven has a timer and every oven has all the heating functions and everything in there. However, my oven has just got something called an internal light. As a result of it, when you switch it on, you can see the condition of your food which is being baked or grilled inside without opening the front door, as a result of which the heat stays and you get a much better product. Everyone knows that any cook who uses an oven likes to see what is the status of the food item being cooked. And this light internally is an exclusive thing which only that particular model of the salesperson offers. So this is how you subtly place your competitive superiority, how you showcase you're better than others. Yeah. So don't add value to the customer purchase. Don't negate value based on the choices that the customer is making. Readiness for competition. Doing all this properly would require the salesperson to be well versed with the customer profile and the needs or wants of the customer, the product benefits, and the competitive superiority. The salesperson should know enough to point out the competitive superiority, but just educate the customer on it and not rub it in. At any point of time, if a customer is fixated on a particular model which the salesperson doesn't want to showcase or doesn't, and it's a competitive offering, the salesperson in that case can suggest what are the features which his product has got, which is superior, or how it can help that particular customer, but not rub it in. And if the customer still chooses the other product, you still say, yes, ma'am, it's a very good choice. Oh, yes, you made a very good choice. Congratulations. That's okay. You win some, you lose some. That's a part of sales process. But never lose the trust of the customer. Never have an issue or make the customer feel bad. When he leaves the store, the customer should be happy. Case in point, industrial consumables. Consider an industrial consumable like a coolant or a hydraulic oil, wherein the customer has been using a particular vendor's product for years. Changing that vendor would mean retraining the workforce on the new offering. It might be a slight bit of retraining, but still some specifications and all need to be told. Changing over the entire inventory process, which used to be there, and other unknown issues that can come up on usage. So, for example, if it's a new coolant, excessive frothing might be observed, or a little more dilution might be required than what it was required earlier. So, some small little things can always be done. And if the customer has been using a particular brand for many years, the entire workforce is trained on that. There is a lot of small little things, but change management is required at the ground level. A salesperson of the new product must be available to address the issues post the sale and be competent enough or be able to get resources from the organization to resolve the issues. This would require confidence to the customer and thus might go ahead with experimentation and repeat purchase. Normally, such sale when it happens, the customer likes to order a few barrels and then test it out and then go for the whole hog order. So it's important for the salesperson to be there, for the post deployment issues which can come in. The organization has to support the salesperson in this initiative. These are very important things, that gives confidence to the customer. And while this is taking place, remember, the vendor who has lost the contract, who used to be servicing for so many years, would always be trying to claw back his way into the account. So know that competition makes the sales process very engaging, interactive, and dynamic, as well as challenging. So be in touch with your customer. If you have a customer, be in touch with your customer always. If you are a prospect and you're trying to take a competitor's account, then you need to be far more prepared than the existing player to be able to take up. Needs and superiority. Competitive superiority in strategy, marketing, and sales are three different things altogether. While a product brochure might point out certain aspects, what matters is what is the customer looking for. And that is not stated upfront. And no customer will actually tell you upfront as to what they're looking for. They might say that, I want a coolant, I want a refining agent, I want a caustic supplier. But what they might say is that they want regular supply, they want good quality caustic, they want their workload to be decreased because of that. They don't want to spend more time maintaining the equipment. There's a lot of unsaid things. So that is not stated upfront and needs to be figured out during the interaction. A good salesperson really understands how the customer is going to use his product, what are the issues which can come in, and how does his organization and the proposition that they have handle each and every of those issues. Competition handling is real and it is actually very exhaustive and extensive. As you are more into sales, you'll get a flavor of it. You know what's happening when, and you know what to do. So evolve your sales a bit every week with me. What is your generic and specific competitive strategy? And I'm talking from a sales process perspective. I'm not talking from the strategy and marketing perspective here. How do you achieve competitive superiority? Customer specific, product specific, better than others. How is it that being implemented at the ground level? In case of queries, message me at saugata@metl.in. The next week's session 5, will be defining sales as a process. Enjoy your sales, and I hope you have had a very good year.